Hello,
Wow.
everybody.
5 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. All that good stuff. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. You guys know what's up, right? It's that cool
yeah,
ass intro.
yeah. You know what's up. You know what's going on.
Yeah, dude. You know what's going
Uh,
on. What's
I
up?
don't know what's going on.
Well, it's almost midnight. 12 minutes till. I'm
Yeah.
currently rendering a new video for my second YouTube channel, Nixxiom Unleashed. Talking about some Asmongold stuff, and then let's see what else. Drank an energy drink, so I'm still a little bit on a kick right now, but I do admit I'm gonna probably start coming down in about 30 minutes. So if I kind of start going halfway through, that's why. I'm doing
All
pretty
right.
good. What are you doing? How you doing?
Um, I'm still doing all right. Trying to heal my groin. Trying to, edit YouTube videos without sitting in a chair. I actually bought a new laptop
Oh,
so that
really?
I can edit, not at a computer.
Yeah.
So that's my plan is that it'll pay itself off in the because I can lay on the couch, I can lay on a bed,
Mm-hmm.
and just edit or do videos or whatever. I can even stream from that, and then once I'm like fully healed, I can like go outside, and like like sit by the trees and edit. I
Yeah,
can
dude.
once we're allowed back in stores, I can go to like a cafe or a library and edit there. So I'm pretty excited for it. I like the like concept of kind of getting out and like working because I don't know. I always hate being like stuck in like one area. And it's like this is your work area. Work now.
Yeah. I've the last time we spoke a little bit yesterday, and you mentioned that you're having a lot more fun with YouTube recently.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it's definitely more fun. I think just I used to always have the mindset of like people want this thing, so I gotta make this thing, or I'd be like,
Oh, really?
uh,
Me,
what?
I said, oh, really? Me too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or I'd be like, oh, I'm putting up too many like live stream VODs, or I'd be like, oh, I'm making too many of this type of thing. And then I hit a point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not think about it, and I'm gonna say if I want to make a video about something, I'm gonna do it. Whether it's Shadowlands Alpha or a stream VOD or a discussion video or me playing Hearthstone or whatever it is, I'm just gonna put it up.
Hmm.
And if people want to watch it, they can watch it. If they don't, they don't. And I just kind of took that mindset, and it's felt a lot better. In fact, it's made me feel good enough to where I'm like, I might make a machinima. In fact, I
Oh,
am making
boy.
machinima, and that's why I want to be able to edit wherever.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. So
Neat.
I'm hoping that'll just carry over into other stuff. But I'm making BFA in a minute and classic WoW in a minute. BFA will be first, but it's I've kind of rekindled that motivation.
Nice. Well done, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
about you?
I did that video recently where I was asking for feedback from the community. Um, and did my headphones die? Say something.
Hello.
Okay, no, I'm still here. All right. I just heard them go boop boop. Anyway, yeah, I put out that video and I was asking, the people for their feedback and for their advice. I wanted their criticisms. I was like, what have you liked about the channel? What have you not liked about the channel? Interestingly enough, I put out that video and a lot of people were like, what are you talking about? Like, the content's fine. Maybe it was, but like for me, it wasn't because of the same thing. Like, you were saying, man, I hate the fact that my channel is like a bunch of stream VODs and like, some old BS, right? And
Mm.
I felt the same way. I was like, man, where's the passion? Like, what should I put my passion into? And I've always been trying to please the viewer, I guess. Like, but instead I've been like, I described it to my friend Toby like this. I said, I'm like, this was my mistake. I'm like a comedian. And maybe I said this in the last two Nerds podcasts, so forgive me if this is a repeat. But I'm like a comedian up on a stage. I go up there, I make my jokes. Like, why did the chicken cross the road? Because he felt like it. Like whatever. And then the thing is I started looking at my audience and I was looking at like what they were laughing the most to. Like, oh man, they really liked that chicken joke. So I need to make more chicken jokes now. So blah blah blah, making chicken joke after chicken joke, and eventually you kind of lose the charm and the variety of what made you like a good comedian in the first place, right?
Hmm.
So what I was looking for in that video is I was looking for, maybe in the case of this comedian metaphor, I was like, what kind of jokes do you guys enjoy hearing? That way I can combine them with these jokes in the back of my mind that I enjoy making, and we'll find some equal ground. And a lot of people were just saying, like, it's not about the jokes, it's about the passion. It's about, like, the genuine interest. And I was like, oh, well, okay. Now, I admit, like, and, Crendor and I have spoken about this behind the scenes quite a bit. There's still like that element of like, oh God, like, do I really want to, release a video of me hiking in the woods? Are people actually going to like that? Are people going to want to watch that? And, oddly enough, I released a video about that today, me hiking in the woods. You have Crendor to thank for that because he challenged me to do it because I told him that I was uncomfortable by it. So I was like, well, I got to do it now. And that video, like when I released spell crafting in World of Warcraft, I thought that was a fantastic video. I was like, this is good. It's a cool subject. This is going to get a lot of views. This is going to get a lot of attention. It got like 15,000 views in the first 24 hours. Did horrible. I know some of you guys might be like, wow, 15,000, that's a lot of people. Compared to the usual on my channel, no, it's not. All right. And then here I go releasing this hiking vlog, and I don't know what the view count is right now for it, but I think the last time I looked, it was like a few hours ago or whenever, it was already at like 15,000 or 16,000 views. I'm actually going to look real fast. And that was mind-blowing to me, and it was just like, oh yeah, like it's just all about, 16,000 views. It's like, yeah, like just express yourself, like, share those interests. And so I've been feeling really good. And I'll say this as well before I shut up. I've been working on a new leveling challenge for Classic WoW. And it is my most ambitious challenge yet. It's so ambitious, it kind of scares me a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, maybe I set the bar too high. Or maybe I didn't, There's a lot of singing in it. And I'm not talking like, oh, just Nixxiom going, roads go ever on. No, there's like singing, like with music and everything in it. There's other content creators that will appear in the channel, the challenge. Might even ask you to make a guest appearance at one point, Crendor. Yeah, dude. There is role playing. It's very cinematic, and you'll see. Like, you guys will see. It's a pretty big, ambitious project, and it has a lot of meaning to me, and I will explain why at the very end of the challenge, whenever that will be. In conclusion, I'm feeling good, but I would feel a lot better if you went to crensloth.com or the Nixxiom Corner store and bought some merch.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I was gonna say, related to the whole passion aspect, I think.
All right.
What you're saying is that it's like a very common thing for people to be like, hey, what do you guys want, right? Like, I've talked about that before where I said, oh, I don't like when people do that. And then, I think the irony was you did that. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying, why do people do that? Right? And I think it's because you want to make people happy, right?
Yeah.
We get into this whole like profession or just hobby. It doesn't have to be your job because you enjoy making people laugh and you enjoy entertaining people and you enjoy the fact that somebody was like, hey, I have free time today and I'm going to use my free time to watch something that you created. And so you almost feel obligated to be like, well, if you're going to watch something that I created, I want it to be good and I want it to be worth your time.
Yeah.
And so by finding out what people like, you're like, okay, like what do people like? But you can get so caught up in that you end up becoming, somebody that you're not. You end up pleasing people more than you end up pleasing yourself. And then, when I think back to it, I got into making videos because I was like, there's like not many World of Warcraft machinimas out there. People like Oxhorn and Mindflame were like retiring. And I was like, I'm going to make videos because I want to make videos. And if other people like them, that's cool. And then at some point, you hit a point where you're like, I'm making videos for other people and not myself.
Yeah.
And so you have to I think there's always that balance you need to find. And I'm always a big, like, I don't know. I always like balance. I think balance in life in general is just good. So
Well, Crendor actually gave me a good piece of advice yesterday before our talk wrapped up, and then I went to editing the video that came out on my channel today, or yesterday technically. And well, it wasn't necessarily something that you said. It was like kind of a conclusion we came to together, where it was sort of this idea of like, YouTube, or really any job, it can pay you in more than just money. Because a lot of times you get really wrapped up in the material, like, oh, I got to make this like video, I got to get the views, I got to get the clicks, I got to make the bank to pay the bills, right? But you want to enjoy your job as well. Like, you don't want to burn out. You don't want to feel like, like roll your eyes every single time you have to make a stupid video. And in which case, Crendor, he suggested to me, he was like, you really enjoy camping, you really enjoy hiking, you really enjoy like playing music in the woods and being a bush hippie. Why don't you just like every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or something, just release a video where like you express this side of yourself? And those videos, yeah, maybe they won't get as many views as the WoW videos, but they will like sort of, they will pay me in terms of fulfillment. And like that whole like, oh, I really want to express myself, and like this side of me that I don't get to show all that often. And then when it comes to like the gaming content, that's another side of me that I like to express. And you just kind of create a balance. You have this like side of yourself that you're expressing that maybe you felt like you couldn't before, at least in my case. And then you have the the side everybody's familiar with, the gaming Nixxiom, the dude in the chair, like talking and geeking out over WoW, like. That way you're getting the best of both worlds, and you just feel very fulfilled. And I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. So yeah, I think as well. I don't know if this is necessarily good logic. Give me more time to think about this, Nerd Nation. But I sort of look at it like, if you're a comedian, or let's say you're the CEO of Walmart, for example, you sell products, right? Feedback is very, very important when selling a product. But if you're selling a service, like let's say you are a welder, or you're an entertainer, a comedian, whatever, feedback is good, but it's not the same, because ultimately you going up on stage and making those jokes in your own style, Mr. Comedian, is what made you popular in the first place. And if you start taking feedback, like people are like, oh, more sex jokes, and then you start making more sex jokes, you lose the color of what made you popular in the first place. So my thing is, for me going forward, when it comes to feedback on my channel, if I ever do more videos, which I would like to do, or I'm like, hey, guys, what do you think of the videos so far? How do you think we can improve the channel? Is I like the idea of looking at feedback from the perspective of, what do the people want to see? Does that align with what I want to create? Or better yet, are people enjoying what I'm creating that's coming from my own passions? And how can I make the things that I'm passionate about, how can I make that content even better? And that's kind of some of the feedback that I'm looking for going forward. But I'll make a video about that in like 6 months or something. So those are my thoughts.
I think those are good thoughts. I like them.
Yeah. Yep. We were totally not supposed to talk about this with this episode. We were actually supposed to talk about the corona.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah. Because the corona has been, in full swing for quite a while now. And I recorded a video talking about this, and I was just like, I'll make it into a episode of Two Nerds Podcast with Crendor. That might be a better idea. But just simply, how has Corona changed your life so far? And since I talked, you go.
I will go.
All right. Tell me.
I think it has made my body worse.
Really?
Funny enough, because I stopped going to the gym, which, I lost out on a bunch of just exercises I would do. Plus, the gym was kind of like my escape, right? So, like, in the past, you get out stressed in, like, unhealthy ways of, like, drinking or whatever.
Hmm.
And then I'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm stressed out. Go to the gym,
Yeah.
right? You blast your music. You get a lot of fresh air because you're walking outside after the gym and you're like, and you're like pumped up. You're like, yeah, and your blood's pumping and flowing, and all your
Hmm.
muscles are loosened up and everything. You're like, yeah. So you lose out on that. You lose out on just being around other people that are doing that, and that always motivates me to see other people around me like exercising or doing something.
Hmm.
And then you kind of lose out on just a lot of things you used to do. Like I would go out walking in like random places. I would go to like random stores and walk around, like Container Store. I would just go to the Container Store, walk around. It would make me feel good because I'm like everything's organized here.
Yeah.
And just like look for a container, walk around, don't even have to buy anything. And it would just be like a nice stress-free thing. But now it's like, well, I'll go to the grocery store and the pet food store,
Yep.
and it's like it. And so I lose out on that. I lose out on exercising as much, and then just like having to sit in a chair more. Like I still go for like a walk,
Hmm.
like out in like a forest preserve or a bike path or something. Just be like, oh, all right, whatever,
Hmm.
and get my walk, and that always makes me feel good. But it's still like, I don't know, it's still not the same
Yeah.
to the level of like going to the gym. And so I'd also get like a massage once a month, which some people probably be like, ooh la la, Crendor get massages. Well, I started getting them because I got extreme like migraines
Hmm.
when I didn't get them, and the massages were one of the only things that like helped with my headaches and my migraines and stuff. And so now I noticed, without getting like my one massage a month, I started clenching my jaw more. My like TMJ pain and grinding my teeth was getting bad.
Hmm.
Like it was making my teeth irritated. It was making my jaw sore. It was making my ears sore because the pain would radiate up to my ears.
Hmm.
Like, so it was just, I was like watching my body just slowly deteriorate. And then I got my groin stuff.
Yep.
And so I can't help but think it's all kind of linked together. Because I'm under the assumption of like your body is like in a way just all connected. And if it starts becoming like inflamed or sore, like everything starts becoming inflamed and irritated.
Yeah.
And so I've just been trying to like get back on track in terms of just like eating better and like trying to walk and trying to do some exercise. But obviously, when you're not feeling good already,
Hmm.
it just like makes it even harder or like wears you down even more. So I think it's been rough.
It's certainly been pretty rough for me as well, especially the past 2.5 months. I mean, I had my friend from Germany staying here, and that unto itself was a whole like process of adaptation that I had to deal with because usually I live on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now suddenly I have someone in my house constantly looming over my shoulder. And as a host, I feel like I want to entertain this person. I want to make sure that they're happy and they're enjoying their time here, especially a foreigner. So there was that. And, me and my friends, like, despite the whole, Corona situation, we were meeting up like every weekend. Most of them were out of work for a while and they're just now getting back into it. But we would hang out for like 3-4 days out of the week, and everybody would just be at my house, like 6+ people. And for me, as someone who, again, like typically I live on my own, typically I work on my own, blah, 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 I need that space. This was really difficult for me. Like this was driving me crazy. In fact, I sort of started this habit during like the past like 2 weeks or so, where every morning I would get up really early and I would just drive around in my car for like 2 or 3 hours just by myself and drink a coffee and listen to music and go to the woods and go for a hike, just like, for those of you guys that have seen my Nixxiom Unleashed channel, these are the videos that you guys have seen where I'm like out in the woods and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just to kind of like get away for a bit, just to like breathe. Because everything is closed, you're just sort of limited in what you can do. I mean, the past, while has been nothing but go to the grocery store, hang out at home, play video games, work on YouTube stuff, play D&D in the house, or like just go to the woods or wait, I think I already said that. But whatever. The point is like there's not really that much you can do.
Yeah.
And it'll drive you crazy. So what we did actually 2 days ago, I mean, deal with it. But what we did is we went over to my friend's house and we were like, hey, my German friend here has never shot a gun before. Okay. So he busted out every single weapon that he had. Like, some weapons that you might be familiar with, some weapons that I'm not allowed to talk about. Because, maybe he shouldn't have those technically. But we're good Second Amendment supporting Americans down here down south. Don't tread on me. And then, like, a bunch of other friends came over and they brought their weapons. And so it was just like a whole day of barbecue and shooting guns, even some old black powder guns. That was really cool. Smoking cigars, and I am sunburnt to hell. Let me tell you what. Like, I am redder than a creative metaphor right now. But it's been tough. But there have also been some really good moments in there. Playing D&D, going and unloading enough ammunition into the forest to, like, wipe out a small village. Like, it was fun. And then we went camping recently. That was cool. And I might actually go camping again here pretty soon, as per Crendor's request. So
yeah.
I just hope this crap ends, like, sooner rather than later. I'm tired of it. I'm bored of Corona. I want it to be canceled.
I'd like it to be canceled too.
Yeah, like this show isn't that good.
It's at least from what I've seen starting to, like, go down everywhere, which is neat. And there's, like, some promising, like, vaccines and treatments and shit they're working on. So it's like, at least it's it's progressing.
Yeah, that's good.
So hopefully, and it seems like more shit's going to be opening up in June, and just, like, wash your hands, don't cough on people, and, just stay 6 feet away from other people, even without Corona. I don't want to be 6 feet near, like, some random dude.
I'm not supposed to cough on people? Now I see. Every time I've seen a mask breather, I've just walked over to them and been like, just as I walk by them.
Well, there's your problem.
Now I see. No, I haven't done that.
But yeah, it's been rough. I don't know. At first it wasn't too bad, but, like, it's worn on me to the point where I'm like, listen, I don't care if I gotta, like, go to the gym and wear a mask. I gotta get back in. Like, it's like I'm gonna die from not going to the gym. Like, something else, like blood pressure and shit's gonna kill me. So it's like, I don't know. I think as long as people are safe and practicing hygiene, which I already know not everyone's gonna do. So just avoid the people with, like, smell lines and stuff coming from them.
Yeah.
And
like a cartoon character.
Be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it like... Actually, wait, no, I already asked you that question in a previous podcast episode. I was going to ask, how wild is it, like, where you live? Can you buy toilet paper still?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot better now.
Okay, good.
It's they limit, like, shit you can buy. You can buy, like, 1 toilet paper. You can buy, like, 2 eggs. You can buy, like, 5 pounds of chicken. Like, it's all limited.
I bought some eggs today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good old eggs.
Dude, by the way, I got brain powder.
What?
I was on Instagram one day, and I rarely, like, post on Instagram these days, but I was on there, and it was like there was this ad, and it was like brain powder, and it was like this powder shit that you buy, and you mix it with juice, and you drink it, and it's like a month's worth of, like, powder. It's like 30 days worth of crap. I don't know. I don't even know if you're supposed to drink it every day. But it's supposed to, like, increase your focus. It's supposed to, like, increase, like, your, like, I don't know, like, just brain power, like, or something. And, it helps with your digestion and stuff. So I was like, cool. And I was like, how much does this cost? Just out of curiosity. And it was like, $70 for some brain powder for a month.
What?
And I was like, God damn it. All right, sign me up. So I bought some just for science. And so I've been drinking brain powder for like a week and a half now. And it tastes like a rubber glove. It is, right. If you could imagine drinking rubber glove, that's it. Like, it's disgusting. I found that if you mix it with orange juice, though, it's not that bad. The orange juice is so strong, it covers up the rubber glove taste. how do I feel having drank brain powder during this devilish Corona time? I don't know. It's all right.
I've just been taking vitamin D.
I mean, I've just been. I mean, I could have made a joke there, but I won't.
Well, I've actually read a lot about how vitamin D is actually really good for not even just fighting off corona, but fighting off just anything. Most people are like low in vitamin D.
Don't you get vitamin D from the sun, or is that E?
No, you do get vitamin D from the sun. The problem is most people aren't in the sun long enough, or most people are too far away from like the equator, so they don't like actually absorb the sun as well. So like a lot of things that go into it.
Dude, my forehead is sunburnt. The tip of my nose is sunburnt. My back, my chest, everything is bad.
Probably loaded up on vitamin D.
Dude, it's a bad day in the office. Dude, like the sun gave me the D, if you know what I mean. It's a bad. I'm wearing this
the
like.
The sun gave me the old vitamin D.
Dude, like it. I mean, I'm wearing this like scratchy ass shirt right now, so every time I move around, it feels like a cheese grater on my skin. But I mean, I love it. A little pain is good, right, ladies? That's right.
It's all right.
Yeah, dude.
Why have we been rejected for monetization? Oh, now I see it.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, we got rejected for monetization, by the way, guys. We did it. We hit 1,000 subscribers. We hit 4,000 hours of watch time. Thank you guys, by the way. Thank you. Submitted.
We've only talked about, giving her the vitamin D, pain, and genitalia.
I didn't talk about genitalia.
I don't know why they rejected us.
I didn't say nothing.
Well, I mentioned my groin.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you've become a eunuch. So, but no, like they were like, oh, no. We can't monetize the Two Nerds podcast. Why? Oh, because of reused content. Bitch, the hell are you talking about? I like looked into like the learn more, and it's like, oh, reused content means like taking like movie trailers and movie clips and re-uploading them on your channel and trying to make money off of it and things like that. And I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? So I tagged Team YouTube, and actually just before, I sent them a tweet, and I was like, yo, what gives? And they actually just responded to me on Twitter, like just when I hit the record button for this episode, but I haven't looked at their response yet. So hopefully they've fixed it, because it would be cool to get the podcast monetized, because that'd be neat,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
it's I don't know. It's just the time that's just it wears you down.
Yeah.
When you're just confined. It's almost like you're in prison. It's like a very nice prison, Yeah,
I mean, honestly, my life hasn't. I mean, aside from the fact that I can't do mall walking and I can't go to this store or that store, my life hasn't really changed all that much. I have completely ignored the quarantine recommendations. Same with everybody that I know. Like, no one cares. Then again, no one cares in like my entire town. Like, I literally was.
You live in more of like an open country area.
Yeah, I'm not like in like a city or anything. Yeah, and like today, for example, I was downtown and I just like sit in the park downtown, and there's just tons of people just walking around, like just walking, hanging out with their kids, having picnics, like jogging, like riding bikes around like the city and stuff. Like, I love it. Like I'll talk to these people, and like I talked to this one guy, and I was like, oh, like we're just having a conversation because we were outside the brewery, and I had just gotten a cider, and I was like, how's Corona treating you? And he was like, man, I ain't gonna let no sickness keep me in my house. I'm not gonna be paralyzed by fear. I'm gonna live my life. And then he got on his bike and rode away. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's right. And I drank my cider and I smoked my cigar, and it was great. But yeah, I mean, I would honestly say, like, if anybody's feeling kind of like trapped or like sort of like a whatever, do something new. Like, for me, I've been going to downtown and like reading in new areas. I've been doing that. I've been going to the park and like hiking new trails, because there's this park near my house with a ton of trails, like miles and miles. It's where I record the Nixxiom Unleashed videos. So I'll hike these new trails and see what I can find, like that hiking vlog that I did. Like sometimes I'll just drive around and just drive down a new road or go to a new coffee shop. Just don't fall into the trap of repetition. Repetition leads to depression. That's right.
Yeah.
So do new things.
I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to get my laptop is because it's
Get out.
like it feels so like repetitive and mundane, like sitting at a computer being like, eh. It's like when you have that laptop, I want to be able to like edit wherever.
Yeah.
I can edit in my car. I can edit on the couch. I can edit outside. Like I can edit wherever, and I really like that as like I don't know, it's motivating because I'm the type of person where like when I'd write, I'd go to the library, I'd go to the cafe, I'd go wherever.
Hmm.
So it's like I just need that change of scenery. I
Yeah.
think that's another thing. Is a lot of people like, Crendor stays inside a lot. I know a lot of people say that to me. They're like, you must never leave. And really, I would leave like every day.
Yeah.
I'd go walk around IKEA. I'd go walk around the mall. I'd go walk outside. I'd go to the library. I'd go like, container store. Like, I'd go, it may not be like this grand adventure, but like I'd go somewhere just to like get a nice little scenery change. Here's the thing is like every time I do that, I would feel refreshed.
Yeah.
Kind of like mentally and just energized. Like, yeah, you know what? That kind of recharged me.
Yeah.
So it's with a lot of things being closed and everything, it's harder to get that like recharge, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you're self-employed and you work from home, like working from home is great, but like one of the cons is that your home becomes your office.
Yeah.
And so getting out of your home every now and then is good, because imagine if you lived at the cash register, for example. Like, it might be kind of cool, like, like whatever, who cares? But eventually you're like, oh my God, get me away from the cash register or the office cubicle or like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
anything,
I can relate.
Yeah, and I think anything in that amount, like even when people think like they're friends, like you just had that, right? With like your friends, like this can be great. Like, oh, my friends will be here and whatever. And there comes a point where you're like, all right, everybody starts being like, I've been around you too long, you've been around me too long. You just like need to like get away for a bit.
Yep. Yeah, I can relate to that. Definitely. I just say just get in your car and go somewhere. Go like Google Maps and be like, parks near me, and just find like a park and be like, I've never been there before. I'm just gonna go there and I'm just gonna go read for 30 minutes. And then that 30 minutes will probably turn into like 2 hours maybe of reading and writing on the new laptop and just walking around and just being like, wow, I've never been here. Wow, look at that tree. Look at that squirrel. Whoa.
I've noticed every time I feel like kind of depressed or like in a negative mood or whatever, I always just go for a walk.
Yeah.
And every time I go for a walk, it cheers me up like 50% at least.
Yeah.
And I think it's because when you walk, you kind of think to yourself and you kind of like work out whatever you're thinking about, and you get your blood flowing, you get your chemicals going. They're like, yeah, you know what? We're moving around. We're doing something. And you like smell the trees, you smell the air, and it just kind of rejuvenates.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like movement just naturally, I think, creates pleasure in the mind. Always moving towards something, whether it's you're reading an extra page in the book, or you're taking a walk, or you're, I don't know, grinding for an achievement in a video game. It just kind of gives you them pleasure chemicals.
Yeah. I was actually watching the Last Dance, which is the Chicago Bull documentary.
Okay.
And I didn't realize like how competitive Michael Jordan was.
Okay.
And it was like to the point where everybody that talked to him talked about how he always found something to keep him motivated. And that's what I found really interesting is like one day he'd be playing against like this really shitty team, like one of the worst teams in the league. And some guy on the team would just be, or on the other team would just be like, you're not that great.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time he played them, he would be like, that was like a championship to me. Like I would go out and I didn't care that they were the worst team in the league. I was like, I'm going to score more points than your entire team.
Yeah. And
he would like always like have challenges like set up to like just succeed. And he would push everyone around him to do that. And it was like really, I don't know, it was almost motivating watching it, just seeing like how competitive he was and how motivated he was. And you're like, shit, dude, like, I want to be like that. Maybe not to that extreme, but like,
or maybe, why not, right?
Yeah.
Just set goals every day and smash them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me realize the amount of like little goals you can make in your own life of like, you know what? I want to, pass this amount of views. I want to pass this amount of subscribers. I want to
Mhm.
hit this many Twitch views today. I want to make this video. Like you can always just set up a new goal every day. It doesn't even have to be a long-term one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, like for me, I've honestly, I mean, the Corona situation has been annoying, but I'm very thankful for it because, like, first of all, I've spent so much time reading recently, and that's been incredible for me. Like a few days ago, I think I mentioned it in our last podcast episode. I think I just sat down and just read an entire book one afternoon just because I felt like it. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna read this book. And so
Yeah.
busted that out, and that was really good. It was like a self-help book, very motivational. Like I loved it. Learned a lot of new things about how the mind works and blah blah blah, and that was awesome. So I've been reading a lot more, not just that book, but a lot of others. I've been working on my own book recently, which has been cool. I even was working on it today. That's one thing that I did in the park. I've been spending time with friends, and even if that's been stressful at times, it's been really nice playing D&D and expressing our interests together, like painting models and whatnot. That's really cool. And I've been just because I can't go to the mall, because I can't go to this place or that place, I've been spending a lot more time out in nature, like camping and hiking. And I've really used this time, oddly enough, to just reflect on a lot of things. And I've thought a lot about business-wise, like, what are my plans with Nixxiom? Like, what are my goals? What I want to do is Nixxiom my be-all, end-all? Do I want to build something bigger, like beyond it one day? Like, and yeah, like it's been pretty cool, and I've found like a lot of confidence and feedback and a lot of healthy boasts during this time. And that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Now, the one thing that I have not been doing is I have not been streaming. I mean, I want to stream. I like every day I think about it. I'm like, oh, I should stream today. It's not that I don't like streaming. It's not that I hate my Twitch audience. None of that stuff. I love those guys. Every single one of you all. It's just that I've had the people in the house, and streaming with people in the house, like unless we were doing like the LAN party streams, which sometimes we would do over the past 2.5 months, it's sort of distracting. It's distracting. And now that they're gone, I feel like, oh, dude, like now suddenly I have like the space and, come on, it's just a big empty house. What else am I going to do? Right. And so once like my YouTube work is done, yeah, dude, let's do some streaming. But right now, I'm actually hiring people to work for Nixxiom. Taking a bit of a financial risk here, but that's okay. I'm not really that concerned by it. And I'm hiring video editors and writers and just people that can help me to create a little bit more free time for myself. That way I can focus on streaming a bit more. I can focus on working on my book, have more time for that. And I have more time to focus on things like, having that breathing room to create new big ideas for Nixxiom and maybe other YouTube channels down the road or other projects. And that's something I'm really thankful for. Although I will admit that I'm thinking about it. We'll see. I may do a fan funding video at some point in the future. I'm not looking forward to doing that, but I might do one. We'll see. Me and Crendor have had experiences with fan funding videos. They're never fun.
Yeah, they're all. It's because you almost feel like you're begging, and then the people are like, "Here they go."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Asking for money.
Here they go. No, I'm just gonna be like, hey guys, like, I've brought on a few people. They're helping me, create the Nixxiom content. Because my goal with Nixxiom is I want to release like 4 to 5 videos a week. That's the goal. I have all this idea, or I have all these ideas. I have all this passion and all these videos that I like want to come out throughout the week. But like, I'm just one person. There's only so much that I can edit on my own, and I've reached an understanding in the past several months of like, look, you can't handle life on your own. Like, you need help. You need people to take some of the weight and the burden off your shoulders. So if I can like hire like a guy or another dude to like kind of just, like my friends to like kind of sit and edit with me, and I pay them a little bit, here and there, blah blah blah. Even if it's like a financial loss to me in like the early stages, down the road, the benefits will come. And so that's why I'm sort of debating, like, do I want to do a fan funding? Because I have a lot of confidence in the content going forward. But so even if Nixxiom as a business operates at a loss for a temporary amount of time, it'll still like then operate at a profit, if that makes sense. But if I were to do like a fan thing where I was like, hey guys, like I want to hire, more people, I want to create more content, would anybody be willing to, give $1 on Patreon or something to help me, pay their salaries, but also help me pay my own bills and stuff? That would be really cool as well. So I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm thinking feedback is appreciated, you know, because I don't want to sound like I'm begging, because I don't have to do it, but it's a safety thing. Why not?
Yeah.
So
I mean, if people are willing to, why not?
Yeah, exactly. So, but whatever. I'll figure that out as time goes on. But for now, I'm okay. Yeah. Anything else? Like any other like crazy stories? What's the craziest thing that has happened to you since Corona has happened?
Let's see.
Your craziest isolation story, other than becoming a eunuch.
Let's see. This is I don't know if it's the craziest thing, but it happened like yesterday.
Oh,
so
boy.
I was out walking, and I was walking past this one area, and it just rained a lot, so it was like kind of flooded. And I was like, yo, this is pretty deep. So I was like walking, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna turn around, walk the other way, or walk back. And some dude on a bike was gonna ride by. And I was like, there's no way this guy's gonna like ride through that. Like it's really deep. And he tried, and he started going in, and then he was pedaling more, and I glanced back, and then his like legs were underwater, and he was kind of like pedaling with like almost up to his waist water. And I was like, and then he like barely made it out. And then he was riding by me, and he's like, it's deeper than I thought. And I was like, yeah, it was.
Deeper than I thought.
I was like, there's no way this guy's going to do it. And he did it. But kind of crazy.
Neat.
So that happened.
Okay, keep going. I'll tell you a silly story.
There's one other thing where I was just kind of had the windows open, and like people were just riding their bikes and like skateboarding and shit outside. And we heard this one dude just at the top of his lungs. He had to be some European dude. He's got an accent. He was like, so this is what it feels like to be alive. And that's all I heard as he skateboarded away.
Oh.
This is what it feels like to be alive.
Oh. Neat.
Yeah.
Dude, nothing's going to hold him back. Not even a global pandemic.
I know. He's alive.
I love it. More alive than all of us combined. Nah, dude. I'll tell you a story. I haven't told you this story. A few weeks ago. It was just before like the German guy arrived. I was sitting in here in my office room, and I heard this like loud bang like outside my house, and I was like, what is that? So I grabbed my phone, and I have a security system with my house, and like I have cameras outside of it and all that crap. And so I looked on my phone app so I could, I can look through the cameras and I could see the front yard. And I opened up the front yard camera and I looked, and there was like this kid, and he was just laying in my driveway, like on his back. He probably was about like maybe 7 or 8 years old, I would assume, based on what I saw. And he's just laying there, like arms and legs like wide out. Like it looked like he was dead. And he just like was just laying there, like just with his head tilted to the side, just like dead. And like a scooter was like next to him. And I was like, well, that kid's dead. So I turned off the camera and I just went back to doing my business and stuff. And then it was maybe like half an hour later, and I was like, what if that kid's still there? So I grabbed my phone and I looked, and he was still laying there. Like he hadn't even moved. And I was like, dude, he's dead. Oh, well. And I just went back to like editing like on YouTube stuff. And then like about like an hour later, I was like, dude, I wonder if that kid's still there. And so like I walked to because I was getting a peanut butter sandwich or something, and I walked to like my front room and I looked out the window and he was gone. And I was like, all right, I guess he came back. He's fine. He's like Jesus. But yeah, so that's the story of the day a child died in my front yard. Okay.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. He probably was just sleepy. It was a hot day, man. Probably got some heat stroke and decided to take a nap.
Only lost a few brain cells.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be all right. I'd do the same thing. I was driving through my neighborhood just the other day. It was like 4 days ago. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, bless your heart. I'm pulling into my neighborhood and I'm driving by this one house and there is a lady in the driveway. Like, she's got her driveway, right? And there's a towel and she's naked, laying on the towel, sun tanning in the driveway. And I'm like, put that cooter away or so help me. Like, titties hanging out and everything. I'm like, man, dude. So, that was nice. I love my neighborhood. Dead children and naked tanning ladies.
You got a lot going on over there.
I do. Like, more has happened in the past, like, 3 months in this neighborhood than in the past, like, 3 years. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's I just got crazy people on bikes and skateboards.
Yeah, dude. Whenever I go to the park, there's always a million people riding road bikes, like, along the side of the street, and I hate them. Because I have to go around them, and like it's a really curvy road, so you can't see around the curve. So like every time you go around the biker, it's like a gamble, like with your life, and I hate them. I'm like, God damn it! It's like you have to choose the road without sidewalks to ride on. And I know someone's gonna say, well, technically, you're not allowed to ride on the sidewalk with a bike. Fuck you. I do it anyway. When I was riding a bike every day, I ride on the sidewalk, and if someone's walking, I get out of the way. I won't hear it.
Whenever I rode a bike, I'd ride on the sidewalk too.
Yeah, the sidewalk is a road for bikes. It is in the Constitution.
And you know what? If you're on a bike on a sidewalk and you hit somebody, well then guess what? You get to be at fault, just like the car that would hit you.
Exactly. That's right. No, I just always get out of the way because like what's cool is like because you always got like grass and stuff on the side of it, sidewalks. Mm-hmm. So if you see some like lady walking her dog or just like having a walk, you just kind of like veer off into the grass and it's all bumpy and stuff, and then you get like some sick air like off of a rock and you do a kick flip, and like you land it and then you do a 360-degree turn and then walk away or ride away, I should say.
Yeah, just like your Xbox.
Just like your Xbox. Now they call it an Xbox 360, guys. Because when you see one, you do a 360-degree turn and you walk away.
Exactly.
That's right. I love it.
Did you realize 360-degree angle is going straight forward?
The oldest troll in the book. Actually.
It's funny because even when I would do that on stream, I'd be like, oh man, it's like one of my favorite trolls. Like this one. I'd say it, and then people are like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, did you guys hear what I just said? One of my favorite trolls. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're registering.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do with streaming is just teasing the audience. Yeah, dude. You actually have to stream soon.
I do.
Yeah, dude.
I'm probably going to limit my stream time to only like 1-2 hours so I don't, keep having my groin feel like it's on fire.
Yeah.
But it's, it's one of those things where it's like I'm so used to like being like, I can stream as long as I want. I can do whatever. It's like when you get heartburn. Like I can eat whatever I want, however I want, and then you start getting heartburn and stomach pain and stuff, and you're like, well, maybe not. So I'm kind of at that point now where I'm like, if I want to start getting better again, I need to not sit for like 5 hours straight.
Honestly, I think I've had heartburn like twice in my entire life.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
because I've probably gotten it twice in a day.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah. Like it's like when they ripped out my gallbladder. Like I had no side effects. I just like they're like, oh yeah, you can't eat fatty stuff or else you'll get diarrhea and like blah 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 blah. Man, I was like a few days after I got my gallbladder ripped out, I had like the biggest, fattiest, nastiest burger you could imagine, and everything was good. All the pipes were running as normal downstairs.
Damn.
Like
Took me like a year and a half to get to that point.
Nah, dude, it took me like a day and a half. It was awesome. I don't know. I've just got like a digestive system of steel aside from the gallbladder. They had to rip that part out, but now it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Really, it's just holding us back.
I know, right? You know, the gallbladder, it's like you have to remove it to unleash your inner power to be like Goku. You know?
Yeah.
That's right. All right, though. Yeah, we'll call it here, you know, and we'll let you go stream and we'll let me go to bed. I'm sleepy. Wowee.
All right. Your
Yeah,
thing wore off.
Yeah, it's wearing off a little bit. I mean, I'll probably chill for like 15 minutes and I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
All right, man. Well, since, you do the outro. Go for it.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit the bell, make sure you hit the bell.
Ding,
That's
ding.
my bell.
I like it. Immersion.
Also, buy our merch, crendslot.com. We got new shirts up there.
Mm-hmm.
Check them out. And Nixxiom Corner Store.
That's right.
Check it out.
Link in description.
Link in description.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, dude. All I have to say is follow his social media, blah, blah, and thanks for watching, everybody. Final word, Crendor.
See ya.